Hey everybody, Massachusetts Prepper here. Today we're going to do a review of the Benchmade 300SN. It's the first flipper that Benchmade actually put out. Now this is a stout butch ball design that looks and feels solid in your hand. It sports the 154 cm stainless steel drop point blade with an ambidextrous thumb stud. The handle features skeletonized steel liners with textured sand earth G10 scales. Includes a deep carry reversible tip up pocket clip, and the pocket clip on this is right-handed or left-handed tip up carry only. Now this is a flipper with the axis lock, but you can also use the thumb studs and get really nice smooth action with this knife, or you can just use the flipper or the axis lock and flip this thing right out. Opens and closes. Either way, really easy. You just have to make sure you let go of that axis lock to get that blade to lock. Same way when it's coming down, let go of that. But the flipper works equally as smooth, and the thumb studs. Now this is not assisted opening. As you can see, there's no assisted opening with this knife whatsoever. Now, I'm going to jump right into the details here. The overall length is 7.15 inches with a blade length of 3.18. The blade thickness is 0.145 inches, and the blade material, as I said, is the 154 cm stainless steel. Very, very good steel in this knife. Now, this is what Benchmade has dubbed the ball flipper axis lock. Very smooth ball bearing action in this knife. Just fantastic. I mean, it is so smooth coming out with the flipper or the thumb stud. Almost no wrist action at all needed to open and close this knife. Now it says it has a Rockwell hardness of between 58 and 61. The blade style is a drop point, as you can see here, and the blade grind is a flat grind. Although we do come up, and I mean it is so smooth right there that you don't even hardly feel that little ramp. I mean, just a very nice blade. Now this is a satin finish. The edge type, if we can get the camera to focus on this. Let's see if we can get a good focus. The edge type is plain. Now, the handle thickness is 0.59, and as you can see, the stainless steel liners are not embedded into the G10 scales. Okay, and I don't know if the camera will pick this up. There we go. You can see the skeletonized frame in there on both sides. Handle material is an absolutely gorgeous G10. I mean, this is a very, very nice looking knife as far as I'm concerned. These G10 scales are just fantastic. Now, as you can see, there is nice finger choiling all along the bottom here for a nice grip on this knife. Your hand just fits in there really, really nice. And I do have rather large hands, and as you can see, this knife does still protrude a little bit on the bottom. Overall, very nice. Now the color is tan, and as I said, the frame liners are stainless steel. Now this knife does weigh in at a hefty 4.85 ounces, so this knife does have a little heft to it. You're going to definitely know it's in your pocket. Now, as we said at the beginning of this, it is right-handed or left-handed, so it is ambidextrous, but only in the tip-up configuration. The pocket clip is a deep pocket clip. As you can see here, you will have a minimal amount of this blade sticking out of your pocket. So it's going to ride very deep in your pocket. The knife type is a manual, and like I said, this thing is smooth. Whether you're going to use the flipper, the thumb stud, or the axis lock. Now it is dubbed as being able to let gravity open it, and you can. It's a little bit harder here in the confines of the studio and the camera, but if you snap this down, it does open right up. With just a little wrist action, she would pop right open. This is a manual opener with the thumb stud, flipper, or axis lock opening. Now the lock-up type, as I said, is the axis lock. There is absolutely no up and down play in the blade or side to side. The knife is built very sturdy, and that axis lock is a tight lockup. As you can see if I can get it to focus here. When this comes up, it locks right in there. You pull this back, and that flat spot that you see right there, get it in some light. That flat spot lets that little rod slide right in there and lock that up nice and tight. It's not going anywhere. Of course, the brand is Benchmade. The model is the ball flipper. The model number is 300SN, and the designer is Butch Ball. The country of origin is the United States, and they say that the best uses for this knife is for camping, hiking, or everyday carry. Now, as we can see, let's see if we can get this where we don't have a glare. It's a nice little Benchmade symbol in there. And on the other side, see if we can get it to focus, we see the 154 CM and the US patent number, and of course the Butch Ball or the custom ball knives symbol. The overall construction of this knife, I feel, is very good. Like I said, I did carry it for a couple of weeks, and I love the knife. It is a little bit heavy, but other than that, the overall function of this knife was at par with what I was expecting. The function and operation of it is very smooth. I mean, literally, you can pop that blade with no wrist action whatsoever. Same way with the thumb, using the thumb studs, and you do have to give it a little bit with the axis lock. And just remember to let go of that axis lock, and it'll hold it right there. Now, there is torque screws all along the G10 scales to hold this knife together, and a larger torque screw for adjusting your blade. Right out of the box, this came pretty well centered, as you can see. And as with most Benchmades, really nice clip. The retention is quite good. I kind of wish this was black so it wouldn't show up on your pants pocket so much, but still, I don't mind it. I mean, really good. And as you can see, the detent here snaps that right back in. You can see how far. Right there is where it stops and snaps it right back in. So real good detent. We do have some jimping up here on the blade. It's not overly aggressive. I think it could have been a little bit more. It does give you a good purchase with the finger choils and the design of the G10 handles. The overall design of the knife, you do get a good purchase on it. That jimping could have come up a little bit further on the blade, I think. If I had to find one fault with it, that would be it. When I was using this knife, I didn't really feel any hot spots through, doing, some feather sticks and stuff like that. There was really no hot spots that I could feel in the short time that I used it. So overall, very nice knife. A little bit heavy, but if you don't mind a bigger knife, made very sturdy and just very well made, this is a nice knife. Now, as you can see, we do have the pillar construction here, so you're not going to have any issues with keeping this knife clean, and taking it apart is just a snap. I mean, the G10 handles or G10 scales come right off, and you can clean this knife very easily. With the flow-through design, there is absolutely no problem keeping it clean. So overall, fantastic knife. Now, just to give you a comparison for size, this is the Spyderco Tenacious. The difference between the two is weight. The Benchmade is a lot heavier, the Spyderco a lot lighter. Both really nice knives. The length, the overall length, is really close. The only difference is the weight of the Benchmade. But overall, wonderful knife. Love it. The scales, I think, are phenomenal. The way they're, honed out there a little bit, just absolutely amazing. Really like the scales on this knife. It's a very well-made knife. But anyway, that's enough rambling about the Benchmade 300SN. Hope you enjoyed this short review or overview of this knife. And as always, will you survive whatever comes your way? I sure hope so. This is the Massachusetts Prepper saying, take care, all. After seeing and holding the one that I purchased for the giveaway, I just had to pick up a second one, because this, I feel, is going to be a fantastic knife